Find and draw the electric field for tantalum, assuming that gravity is being applied downward. So the first thing we do is we need to solve for the mass of the particle. So you'd use this number, and you'd multiply it by the constant for the mass of a proton, and it would look something like this. So with that being said, then you can solve that out, and you'll get an answer something around this. Okay, so once you have the mass, then what you need to do is you need to solve for the charge. So you'd use this number, and you'd multiply it with the constant for the charge of a proton, something like this, and solve it out, which will give you something along these lines. Once that's complete, then what you can do is you can use the mass and you can solve for the force of gravity. So you'd use your formula for the force of gravity, Fg equals mg. You plug in your numbers, so you'd use the final mass of the particle times 9.81, which is your acceleration due to gravity. And you get an answer that would be somewhere around this. Then once that's done, you can also use your mass again and the acceleration to come up with your F net, which, using your formula, F equals ma, and plugging in your numbers for F equals ma, and plugging in your numbers, it'll look something like this. And then you can solve it out and get an answer that looks something like this. Once you solve for your F net, then what you're going to want to calculate is your force of your field. Now you can calculate that by adding the force of gravity with the net force to get the total force. Plugging in the numbers, it should look something like this. And then solving it out would look something like this. And then once you have that, then you can find your electric field and use your E equals Fe over Q formula. Plugging in your numbers would look something. Plugging in your numbers would look something like this. And solving it out would look something like this. Then to draw in your field, this would be your field strength. And your field would go from your positive, your proton would want to go up because it's being resisted by gravity and you know it's being accelerated up. So your field would look something like this.